One.
Well, hello everybody. Here we are, back in Grammie's Book Nook for another day of reading. This has become one of the best parts of my day. Each day I get up and look forward to coming to visit with all my friends for a little bit in the afternoon. So I chose a really special book today. But then again, all of my books are very special because I love books and I love reading. And I have a lot of books that have to do with two of my very favorite things, which are dogs, which you probably have guessed by now, and children. So today I'm going to be reading a book about a little girl. And the name of the book is The Never Forgotten Doll. And this book is written by Lisa McCourt, and the beautiful illustrations in this book are by a lady named Mary O'Keefe Young. And I just want to say a little bit about illustrating. Some of you that are watching me on Grammie's Book Nook, Rhode Island Grammie YouTube channel, I know personally, and I know that you have very special gifts and talents. And some of you are excellent artists. And it makes me really happy to think that maybe one day in the future, I'll pick up a book to read to someone and I'll say, this book was written by this person and then it was illustrated by you. Now, how exciting would that be? I'd say, what? I knew that little person when they were just a whippersnapper. And now look at what they're doing with their beautiful gift. So something for you to think about. But let's get our reading glasses on and start our book. The Never Forgotten Doll. And here's the first page. We have a little girl going to visit a lady that looks like she could be like me, a Grammie. But let's see who it is. Ellie! What a surprise, said Miss Maggie when she opened the door. She always said that, even though I came to her house every day after school. I've just made some cookies, she said. Will you help me eat a few? Miss Maggie was the best babysitter I'd ever had, and I had had a lot of babysitters. Mom called her my adopted grandmother. But I didn't know how you could adopt a person so old. So there they are, enjoying an after-school snack together. I bet those cookies taste delicious. Tell me a story from when you were a little girl, I begged Miss Maggie for the gazillionth time. That's a wonderful idea. What should my story be about today? Oh, I said, I know. I would love to hear a story about what your favorite toy was when you were a little girl. Miss Maggie thought for a moment, and then she frowned. Well, I have to warn you, this isn't a happy story. That's okay, I said. You can tell me. So here's a picture of Miss Maggie when she was a little girl, and she's holding a beautiful doll. On my 8th birthday, I opened a present that I'll never forget. She was the most beautiful doll I had ever seen in my whole entire life. Her big blue eyes opened and closed on a real china face. She wore a fancy white dress with lace trim, and her long, beautiful brown hair was tied back with a pink satin ribbon. Owning a doll like that was a dream come true for a poor farm girl like me. I knew my parents couldn't afford fine things. How much they must have loved me to have spent that hard-earned cash on such a luxury for me for my birthday. Miss Maggie got a misty look and tears welled up in her eyes. I was extremely careful with her all morning, she said. Dolls back then were very, very fragile. Their faces were made of the most delicate china. I still remember how magical it felt just to hold her. She was the most wonderful thing that I had ever owned. My mother lit the candles on my birthday cake and called me out into the kitchen. I laid her down gently on the hallway table, but as I went to join my family for my birthday song, we heard a crash. And I knew, without even looking, that it was my precious doll. Her lacy dress had hung from the side of the table just enough for my baby sister to reach up and pull her down. When I ran to the hallway, there was my doll, her face smashed into 1,000 pieces. My mother tried to glue her up, but it couldn't be done. My doll was gone forever. Oh my goodness. Poor Maggie. Ellie's giving her a hug to make her feel better, because that's what friends do. I had never seen a look like that in Maggie's face. I wrapped my arms around her neck and hugged her tight. The rest of the day we practiced my spelling words and played games, but I just couldn't stop thinking about how unhappy Miss Maggie had looked, remembering her broken doll. That night, Mom said, "Saturday is Miss Maggie's birthday. Why don't you and I bake her a cake and we'll bring it over to her?" "Oh, Mom, that's perfect," I said. Miss Maggie was very sad today, and that's just the thing to cheer her up. So here's Ellie on her way home from school, and she happens to look over and see a store. So let's see what happened. The next day after school, I found an even better thing. I was walking to Miss Maggie's, just like I always did, when I saw a doll in the window of Mulligan's Collectibles. She looked really old, and she had on a lacy white dress. Her hair was blonde, not brown, and there was no pink satin ribbon, but I thought Miss Maggie might really like her anyway. So she goes inside the store and she talks to the shop owner. I went in and asked Mr. Mulligan, "That doll over there in the window, do her eyes open and close?" Mr. Mulligan said, "Why, yes, they do. But that's not a doll for little girls like you. That's an antique. Grown-ups collect them." "Oh, no, it's not for me. I want to buy that doll for my friend, Miss Maggie," I explained. "Oh boy, that's an awfully expensive present. Maybe Miss Maggie would like one of these embroidered handkerchiefs instead." Mr. Mulligan held up a dumb white handkerchief with flowers on it. That's not what I had in mind at all. "Well, how much is the doll?" I asked him, because I just needed to know. I put on my most grown-up voice while I was asking. "Well, she's not in the best of shape. I suppose I could let you have her for $35. "What?" My eyes bugged out a mile. Where would I ever get $35? Oh boy, she's a little bit troubled because the time is coming really quickly. Saturday's only a couple of days away. $35 is a lot of money. That night I tried Mom. "Mom, may I have $35 to buy Miss Maggie a birthday present?" I asked. I was really casual about it. Mom laughed and she said, Oh, it's very sweet that you want to buy a gift for your friend, but I'm sure the birthday cake we're making is going to be more than enough. I begged and I pleaded, but the best I could get out of Mom was, if you really want to give Miss Maggie a gift that badly, then we'll go shopping on Saturday morning. I'm sure we'll find something she'll like. But there is no way we can afford to spend $35. I'm sorry, Ellie, but we just can't. I think Ellie is hatching a plan. Let's see what she does. I knew no other gift would do, so I emptied out my elephant bank and counted all my money. I had exactly $8.49. Oh dear, it was already Thursday. There was no time to save up any more money. I put the $8.49 in a sock and I folded it up. I had a plan, but I wasn't sure if it was going to work or not. Oh, there she is, back at the store again. She must have stopped again on her way home from school on Friday. Oh, she did. On Friday after school, I went to see Mr. Mulligan. I really need that doll, Mr. Mulligan, I said. I have $8.49 to pay you right now, and I'll help you out in your store every weekend until I've paid the rest of the money, which would probably be forever. Mr. Mulligan scratched his head. After you asked about that doll yesterday, I went to take another look at her. And the darndest thing, she's more damaged than I thought she was. One of my workers must have laid her head down on some wet wood stain, and the back of her hair is just ruined. I don't know who would buy something like that. I don't think I could get much for her at all now. I reckon if you need her that badly, I can consider your $8.49 a fair price. You've got a deal, I shouted. When Mr. Mulligan took the doll down, she showed me her ruined hair. I got the best idea ever. Oh, after school and after going to the shop, she went back to visit with Miss Maggie again. The time passed slowly at Maggie's that afternoon. When she asked me what was in the bag, I told her it was a top secret and she mustn't look inside. Well, aren't you just mysterious today, she teased. Okay, she's hatching her plan. Let's see what happens. When I got home, I raced to my room and unwrapped the doll. I took out my brown magic marker. I laid the doll down and spread out her hair on a piece of construction paper. And then, very, very carefully, I colored all of her blonde hair brown. The stained part disappeared and she was even more like the doll Miss Maggie remembered. There was only one thing that was missing, and I knew where to get it. I took my favorite and only party dress out of my closet, and I laid it down on my bed. And there, right at the neck, was a pink satin ribbon. I cut it off with my safety scissors, being very careful to cut just the little threads that held it on and not cut a hole on the dress. I tied it in the doll's new brown hair. She was absolutely perfect. Uh-oh. But what was Mom going to say when she found out about my dress? Here they go with their beautiful birthday cake. I think they're very, very thoughtful to be making a birthday cake for Miss Maggie, going to visit her, bringing her a gift. That's what neighbors and friends do. On Saturday, we went to see Miss Maggie. "Ellie, what a surprise," she said. And for once, I think she really meant it. Mom and I marched in singing, "Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, Miss Maggie, happy birthday to you." I could hardly wait until the song was over to give Miss Maggie her present. And there they are together. I can just imagine how excited Ellie is. When you do something special for someone and you know that they're going to love it, you just can't wait to make it happen. Miss Maggie carefully pulled back the tissue paper. When she finally saw the doll, her eyes filled up with tears. "Ellie," she whispered, "where on earth?" "Is she close?" I asked. "Is she like the doll that got broken?" "She's exactly like my doll," Miss Maggie said, without ever once taking her eyes off the present. "But where did you ever find her, and how could you ever afford to buy her?" Oh, this is exciting. I love this. Mom was looking at me like she wanted to know the same thing, so I told them both the whole story. And when I got to the part about my dress, I turned and I asked Mom, "Are you mad at me?" Mom squeezed my hand and her voice cracked when she said, "No, sugar, I'm not even a little bit mad at you." A tear ran down Miss Maggie's face and she said, "Now I know that it is possible that this doll looks just like the one I held in my arms exactly 80 years ago today. Both dolls were gotten from pure love, and love, wherever it comes from, always looks the same." And this is the last page. The cake was delicious, and Miss Maggie said that this was her very most favorite birthday yet. The end. I love that story. I think it's so nice when you really get to know a person and you find out about them, and then there's something that you can do that you know is just going to make their heart so happy. And when you make other people happy in their heart, it just transfers right over and you have a happy heart too. So be on the lookout for ways to be kind. Get to know people. Get to know the things that are important to them. And if you have an opportunity to bring joy to them, go for it. So, that's our book for today. I'm still thinking about what we should read tomorrow, so make sure you come back. You know where to find me in Grammie's Book Nook. So before we leave today, you know what we need to do, because this is the way we always end our story time in Grammie's Book Nook. So is everybody ready? Alrighty, let's get our sleeves rolled up. Here we go. We're gonna wash those germs away, strong and healthy every day. We make wise choices so we stay well, gonna wash those germs away. We're gonna wash those germs away, strong and healthy every day. We make wise choices so we stay well, we're gonna wash those germs away. We make wise choices every day, we're gonna wash those germs away. So, I want to thank everyone for coming to share time with me today. It really is my favorite part of the day. I hope you have a good rest of the day, and I will look forward to seeing you the next time here in Grammie's Book Nook.